what is the problem here? Is the problem that the Trump administration doesn't have a heart for real budget cuts? Is it that the congressmen are the obstacle? Or ultimately is the problem, well, the voters,
With
the American people? And I think we
Yeah.
both think at some level it is, in the end, the recipients
Yeah.
of these benefits
Yeah.
who have gotten, as you say, used to them.
Right. Well, I mean, you made the point of a responsible parent, right? Saying, I don't want these credit card bills. I'm going to pay them down. I'm not going to buy anything until I have the money to pay it off at the end of the month, that kind of thing. But that same family, when they had children, the mom started giving the baby candy, right? Sugar.
Give the kids whatever they want.
Whatever they want, right? And then when they get to about 2 or 3, the pediatrician goes, listen, your child is obese. You're going to have to cut that candy out, right? So what does she do? She's like, well, I guess maybe I'll start giving him broccoli. So you give your kid broccoli after you've been giving him candy all these years. Do you really think that kid is going to throw a tantrum or, okay, Mom, I'll eat the broccoli? No.
Right.
Throw a tantrum. So the American people are throwing a tantrum anytime any kind of entitlement is threatened to be taken away, right? And so the Republicans don't want to be seen as the bad guy. It's like the mom doesn't want to be seen as the bad parent, right? You do it, so the dad does it. And then the kid hates the dad. It's like, you're a terrible dad.
Well,
whatever.
As you know, I've been doing my Reagan book on the podcast. And in some ways, this is the dilemma that Reagan confronted, which was that the Democrats were the party of Santa Claus. And the Republicans, the party of Scrooge.
That's right.
Right? And what would happen is Democrats would go, we got this for you and this for you and this for you. And Republicans would go,
we're taking this away.
We need to have fiscal responsibility.
Exactly.
We're going to need to raise your taxes.
Exactly.
And so Reagan realized, well, it's no surprise Republicans have been losing elections from 1932 to 1980 because who wants Scrooge when you can have Santa Claus, right? And in some ways, that problem is with us today. Here we go, fast forward 50 years later.
So I would argue that it's even worse. It's even worse than it was even then. Because, number one, there's more entitlements. There's more people wanting the entitlements. And then, we do have a whole slew of illegals getting those entitlements. And until we deport them all, they're still continuing to get them, right?
Right.
So we have that problem on top of the other problem. And
then not to mention the fact that whenever something goes on for a longer duration, it not only becomes a lifestyle, it becomes intergenerational. I mean, you've got families that have been on welfare now, since the 60s and 70s.
Their grandparents.
Right. This is the way of life.
Right.
And that's how mom did it and her mom before her. And then, my daughter is heading in the same direction.
Right.
So, and we also want to be clear that we're talking about entitlements that are not just, quote, for the poor or Social Security, Medicare. We're talking about giveaways at every level. People who are tapping into, I'll give a small example of this. Apparently, under Obama, they started this program in New York where if you stay at home and take care of an elderly parent, you get some sort of a subsidy, right? And there were something like 25,000 people who did that. Guess how many people there are now on that program? Like
more?
650,000. So from 25,000 to 50 to 90 to 150. And pretty soon people realize...
And I'm guessing these people didn't tell the government when their parent passed away.
Well, that, and not to mention, they don't even know if you have a parent. I'm sure that there's no monitoring system that consistently makes sure, as this guy would know, it's just you go fill out some forms, you qualify for the program. Once you qualify, you basically can never get off of it.
Right.
And so, and then what I find so disheartening is think of what this does to people's character. You're a slug, you don't work. Or you don't work, you don't support yourself.
Why do you want to work if you get more money not working?
Right. This ultimately is the big question. This question was not really a question during FDR's own time because the programs were modest. But starting, I think, with LBJ and the 60s, this is basically a creation of the boomers. In the 1960s, this whole idea You have an illegitimate kid, you get welfare. You have 2, you get more. You have 3, you get even more. This perverse system that causes people, or someone who says, hey, listen, I can get, I had an accident, I was on disability, but now I'm perfectly fine. But nevertheless, I am somewhat obese, and so I can get $2,500 if I continue to collect disability. Now, I might be able to make $3,000 if I work. But it's not worth the difference. I have to get up every day. I've got to get dressed.
Yeah, there's
I
no
can
incentive.
just sit at home, collect my $2,500, and
Not to mention get unhealthy, get really big, fat, and then claim another disability on top of that, and then just get diabetes, get all kinds of things. So then now you're even more of a burden.
Because you're
on
now
the state.
tapping into a itself bloated
It
and
is.
wasteful healthcare system that is
is.
also ripping off the taxpayer. The Trump administration has their sleeves rolled up. They're streamlining some pretty big and monumental moves right now. But, it's difficult for them to take your personal finances into account when trying to fix the country. That's something you have to do. And that's why tens of thousands of Americans are acting. They're buying gold now from Birch Gold. Here are a few key facts. In the last 12 months, the value of gold has gone up 30%. I'm very happy about that. Central banks are buying gold in large quantities. That should tell you something. The Rio reset on the horizon, where BRICS nations are looking to unseat the US dollar as the global reserve. Hey, you can find peace of mind in gold. Birch Gold makes it extremely easy to convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or just buy some gold to store at home. Get started. Text Dinesh to 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free information kit on gold. There's no obligation, only useful information. Birch Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, thousands of happy customers. So go ahead, contact them, diversify your savings today. Text the word Dinesh to 989898.